every writer and every artist, no matter what age. Well, quite frankly, it's boring. But original art with me as well. A veteran of the comic book industry for 30 years, of a writer, of an artist, and this sucks.
Tonight's episode, Man on Fire.
Don't start! We haven't left yet! Boo! Boo! Boo!
I'm so confused.
I think we got that settled once and for all.
Yeah,
A little confusion there with the crowd. They weren't sure. They're happy. They're sad that we're here, but we're here nonetheless.
Yes, we are. Hi,
And
guys.
welcome. It's Aaron Live. This is Shelly Showtime sitting next to me, and we are here on October 9th, 2022. I got that right.
You got it
this
right
time.
finally.
Yeah,
Yep.
finally.
You must have slept. You were like a streaming maniac.
I was.
That's
I'm
right. Oh my
tired. I have a
gosh.
headache, but here I am again streaming. So we had the closeout stream that I didn't think we did an hour and a half yesterday during the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's kind of a warm up, part one closeout
Mhm.
stream for Wraith of God Blood Hunters, first 30 days.
Right.
And then and then Ethan started streaming. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go over there.
And what I say,
Bigger audience.
you do that. You have
And
fun.
then he was like, hey, it's your closeout. We're going all the way till midnight. And I was like, what? So
Yeah.
7.5 hours. Yikes. But we did it, and it was very good.
Who's not me?
Well, you were there a little bit.
Well, I had to get out of bed at one point to do it. That was
Yeah.
scary. Although
But you did it.
I did it. I do it.
You sacrificed
I do
for the
it.
greater good.
Who's here? Leg kick.
Leg kick. This is the second time he's
Woo!
been first one in the house, and he still gets nothing for that. But
That's okay.
it's always nice to know that leg kick is here because he's almost
Always here. But he says hi to the puppet.
Well, look at this. It's an horror story.
Tippling.
So Aaron's going to read Atari Force. I don't think I am. I might suggest
give you
you read
nightmares.
this. We don't mention it.
nightmares.
No, we don't mention Atari Force in this show. Randy Howell's here. Killer Squid is here. He says Werewolf by Night is killer. No pun intended. Oh no! Is that our sock puppet account from Twitter?
Yes. Well,
We've been.
I heard we were having some puppet problems.
Yeah, look at it.
So we
My
just-
eyes, I can't see. This is what happens. Our dog got a hold of this puppet
It just
and chewed his eyes off.
Ate
This is
the pupils.
it's total Halloween.
But it's
horror.
Halloween, like.
Yeah, so we haven't glued his eyes back on yet.
I haven't even had Fireball yet. Oh.
Hail chat. God bless you, Shelley, with all your trials and
Thanks.
tribulations, mostly dealing with Aaron.
It's tough.
Hmm.
Throw a little cancer on that.
So
Ooh.
we gotta take care of that
That's-
disrespect.
ooh.
Kevin Thomas says, scary story time. Once Aaron drew some X-Men issues without any famous X-Men. Boy, that's unfortunately true.
Ew.
It is true. It was scary. I finally quit doing that, though. I got to a point where I said, no.
Mhm.
They'd offer me a job. I go, "Are the X-Men actually in it?" They'd go, "No." I'd go, "Well, then I'm not doing it."
It's Superman walking across the country
Yeah.
doing nothing. No thanks.
Let's see here.
Where'd you leave off?
Bill Maxwell's here. Jeremy Burtz
Hi, Bill.
is here.
Jeremy.
Daniel. I love how Bisley did a portrait of Aaron.
I just sent him photos and everything.
Daniel's getting roughed up early.
Yeah.
Citizen Ronan is here. Randy Howell says, what does Randy Howell says? Randy Howell's, I just lost it. I had it and I lost it.
Randy
bounced.
right there.
No,
Randy?
no.
No.
There it is. What an awesome week you had. You picked up 19K and over 400 backers. Congrats, Aaron and Chili. Thank you so much.
Good
We had
job,
a
hun.
big closing week. We did. Sequential Treasures is here, but he's under the weather, but he's here. We appreciate
I'm
you.
sorry.
Hope you feel better soon. We're going to do Comic Art Convo on the 15th. But we're doing it early. We're going to do it at 2 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock. I'm announcing that right now because I have a Nebraska game at 4:30, and I don't miss Nebraska games.
Nothing gets in the way of Nebraska.
I don't miss Nebraska games.
No.
So we'll be doing that at 2 o'clock. So write that down, James. 2 o'clock. Don't forget. Monkey Boy 1969 says, oops, not really sure what his problem is there, but that's all right. Darth Josh is here.
Darsh.
Regular Josh is here.
Hi, Josh. And Darsh.
That puppet is a great actor. His performance is really great.
I'm all about the performance.
I'm not sure what Josh is trying to tell us, but let's get that cleared up right now.
Yep.
Sequential Treasury. I don't know. Is he celebrating? Is he promoting puppet genocide? I don't know what his intentions are.
Well, I was confused because I've heard so much about puppets lately.
Yeah.
That I thought we were having craft time. We were going to make sock puppets, but that wasn't true. I don't know what. I don't know all these puppet lingo things.
Neither. Christina Lynn is here. She, of course, is a freelance editor and proofreader that worked on Wraith of God.
She did.
Probably be working on Wraith of God Bloodhunters too.
Booyah.
The
Angry Gamers.
Stiplin Vaughn wants everybody to know that PTP's Last of the Seekers closes tonight. So he's trying to say. So you guys remember to. I love
how just support everybody and.
Yep, get over there to Indiegogo and check things out. I don't have a link because I was unprepared for that, but there you have it.
Sure, you guys can post one too.
Okay, Brian Suddenly Old is here.
Brian.
He was there yesterday when I was drawing and threatened he might go to sleep while I was drawing. So I probably put him to sleep. And he's not just now waking up.
One of those. See, I think you should do those. AMSR things. Oh, she's a bright one today. Well, that's like the sounds that people do, and then you could do that with your drawing.
So just drawing and put people to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Ross kind of did that. Paul Brillard's here. Good evening. Good evening to you. Probably not. No, but that's soothing voice. Hybrid Potato says Sundays are for worship. Shelley, Showtime, and Atari Force. Maybe even some Aaron Live. Maybe Sundays are for this.
Start your week off right with a cannonball.
Leg kick, great endurance, Aaron Presti, kind of like reading Atari Force. Wow.
We are Atari Force right now.
I don't know what's going on in this chat today, but it's getting a little out of control. Eric the Guapo says, did you throw your clothes out during that stream? Did I throw my clothes out?
Did you get all nakedy?
Not that I recall.
What's going on? I leave you.
Oh, he means probably threw it out after the stream because I was like all sweaty and gross. I get it.
We burned him in the back, buried him in the backyard.
Shelley graces us with her presence, of course.
Hi, thanks, Kevin.
That's right. That's what this is. Jibber-jabber.social, a social site for comic people. Comic people leave the dumpster fire that are behind. There you go. Look at that. World of Conan says, hail and God bless Loprestis. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. God bless to you as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tarks9 is here. Bretsky the Great.
Ooh, I like that.
Salute chat. Salute Shelley and Aaron. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Let's see. Stippling Vaughn says, I've elevated past the cannonball or past the cannonball. You've made my day. I'm all about lifting you guys up. Hey, look at Lady Celtic Moon is here. She was here yesterday as well. I hadn't seen her in chat in a while.
Have you had enough Aaron yet?
No, apparently not. So that's a good thing. Stat Zero is here.
Love it.
Maromi is here.
Oh my gosh. You guys are awesome.
Let's see. Congratulations to Nolan's Bills whipping the Steelers' butts.
Oh.
I'm sure Graham is very happy about that.
Yeah, he's got his backyard already. He said it's all ready for fall. Smoking a cigar.
Yeah, a cigar.
Cigar.
Marcus Kilgore says, driving back from hanging out with Andy, Dennis's, and Fraga.
Oh, they look like they had so much fun.
They did.
I miss those days.
Yeah, the good old one-day show.
Well, and just hanging out with everybody and having a few adult beverages and laughing their butts off.
Let's see here. Marcus Kilgore, don't forget Renee. Her name is not banned by Aaron.
No.
That's right.
It's a friendly rivalry.
That's right.
We want her to
we
do
love
well
Rainey.
as
We
well.
want her to do well, just like a few dollars less well than I do. Let's see.
Oh, Marcus hung out with Renee.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to do. There's
Shelley,
a show that we could go to now that I'm not working.
what do we do with that dog, though? Shelley can read
right.
math problems. That'd put me to sleep. There you go.
Yep.
I don't even think she's going to even get angry with that because
Nope. Hey, Dan. Dan's in the
Cannonball
house.
knocked some of my Sunday snacks loose. Better
Oh.
eat some more to be
Yep.
safe. I would.
There's always room in the snack tube.
Aaron has a voice for narcolepsy.
Ooh. I might need that. I was up so late last night.
Gosh, what the heck is going on?
Oh my gosh. Good stuff.
Okay.
Dan's in the house.
Fritzy Schnitzel greeting herself who's ready
Fritzy
for nuclear
Schnitzel.
Armageddon.
That's
Well,
hard.
we'll see. Only one person in the chat ever gets the nuclear Armageddon. So we'll see if Peyton shows up. Hey,
Or
Dan
maybe he's
Lawless is
talking
here.
literally like,
Oh, it could be.
ugh.
All right. Green Laser
Green Laser,
posted
thank
a
you.
link. And I will say that this is what we did. We'll share this real quick and then get on with the show. I don't want to be too much of a salesman since I did that all day yesterday.
Oh.
But
You did a good job.
there we go. We are currently at
Oh, Whoa.
$112,780. Only about
crazy.
$4,000 behind Rini at this point. 1,628 backers with 14
Well, you
days
have more
left.
backers, though.
That's true.
So if you guys could like do both categories, then it
that'd
could be a
fantastic. So anyway, so I extended for 2 weeks because I want to get to 120 because we get the next stretch goal,
Yep.
which is the Esther Queen of
Queen of
Hearts
Hearts.
playing card that
draw.
goes with the
Ace of Spades.
it goes with the Ace of Spades, which in those of you who are like, what are you talking about? Talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got with the last campaign for free. It was a stretch goal. Now we're going to do a Esther Queen of Hearts. So,
That's so
all we
clever.
have to do is get to 120, folks. That's all we
That's
have to
all
do.
we have to do.
And I think we can do it. Maybe I should take this off the screen before I switch stuff around.
Maybe.
Okay, so anyway, so there's a link to this campaign, which is my campaign, in the description of this video. So you can go over there and check it out anytime that you feel the need.
Brian.
Brian Blevins says, I only had a moment to drop by, but I wanted to say, hey, well, thank you.
Hey.
Appreciate it. Donut Sticks is here. It's been a hot minute since I caught a live stream. I miss Shelley. Oh,
Donut.
and Aaron too. Well, thank
Aw.
you for the
That's a,
thank you for the afterthought.
Thanks.
But I want you to know that
Mwah.
you're not an afterthought to me.
oh,
There you go.
oh.
See,
Yep.
I'm always thinking
I
of
gotcha.
others. Marcus Kilgore says I can't do math. If Shelley was your teacher, you could do math.
Mhm. Yep.
It's Shelley Braveheart Lopresti and her
Mhm.
artist husband.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Okay. So
Yeah.
here we are. And one of the things we enjoy doing on this show is eating.
Ooh.
And
So
so
stay so slim and trim.
before we eat, we also like to give out public service announcements. So
We're here
let's
to serve.
do that.
Okay.
So there it is. Like and subscribe to this channel. Like someone's forcing you to do it.
Mhm.
Because
Smash that like button. Hit it.
hit it,
Do it now.
smash it,
Do it. Do it now.
subscribe.
There's still time.
Help this channel grow so Shelley and I can continue to make ridiculous videos and make you watch them.
Yep.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
So what we got?
Shelley, what are you eating today on your snack there? Looks like some sort of is it a gummy worm?
Gummy. You guys know how I love my gummies.
No, it's a gummy worm. so
Gummy
it's
worm.
kind of
More spooky.
yeah. Now I have with me
Orange whip. Orange whip. 3 orange whips.
we're getting
We're
for
orange
everyone.
whips.
Orange, no, actually I'm not. Look at this.
Look at.
Cherry pie, baby. So I bought a slice. I didn't buy the whole pie because I probably would have eaten that too. But we're
Oh, what did you do with my water bottle? Darn it.
I don't know.
Darn it.
Mmm.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just like Mom used to make. All right.
I'm just looking.
Okay. Well, one thing we also like to do.
Does that make Merv the Joker card? Merv.
Wee. Sometimes known as the Phil Diaz card.
But you designed him before you even knew Phil.
That's true.
So it's just kind
It's
of
just
funny.
one of those weird, strange coincidences.
Mhm. We have a lot of those. Weird, strange things.
Look at Brian Suddenly Old. Now there's a good chap. Aaron and Irene are competing, but
Right.
we, the fans, are truly winning. Great books all around.
Aw,
There you go. Thanks
so
very
nice.
much. The Geekies, he says, I'm at my security job, so you can feel secure now. I do. I feel better.
Oh,
Thanks for
okay.
letting us know.
That's
I'm
awesome.
feeling like we're okay.
Yep.
So one thing I like to do while I'm eating is listen to Shelly talk, because that allows me to eat more. So let's see.
Oh,
Shelly, being a teacher and everything,
yep.
always likes to drop knowledge on us, and she's going to drop a few tidbits
I gotcha.
today. Dun, 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 dun,
Got a
dun,
visual
dun,
for me?
dun, dun,
All right,
Dude,
so
there we
today's-
go. Boris Karloff, you got some interesting
Knowledge
facts
of
about
dropping.
Boris
Yep.
Karloff for us, don't you, Sherry? Sherry? Whew. I
Um,
knew a Sherry Durrell in grade school. But I
Isn't
haven't.
that your ex-girlfriend's name that your
No.
dad used to call me?
No, it was Cheryl. Was my ex-girlfriend's name.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry was Sherry Durrell. I went to. She probably doesn't want me dropping her name.
30
online.
years. We've been married 30 years. And the older you get, you more like your father.
The thing I remember about Sherry Durrell, though,
Tell me, I can't wait.
we had a 10-year reunion.
Uh-huh.
We called her up.
Mhm.
She's living in California. She may still be. She wouldn't come to the reunion. We tried to talk her into it. She wouldn't come.
Why? Because you were going to be there.
Well, that's why people came, was because I was there.
Oh, I'm so
Don't have permission.
confused. All right. Who's this?
That's Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff.
Shelley, what do you know about Boris
Well,
Karloff?
I know
You
he
can
was
tell us.
born in England in 1887.
Wow,
That's a
he
long
was-
time ago.
He's old.
Yeah, well, happens.
Mhm.
So in his early career, work was so sporadic that, he picked up odd jobs here and there to make ends meet.
Mhm.
Some of those were like ditch digging, delivering construction plaster, stuff that, this generation coming through, like, oh, it's beneath them.
They
But you
never
got to
do
do what
that.
you got to do, right? Like, got to make bills meet. I was thinking about that last night going, what would you do if we got to that point where, like, okay,
Have screwed lids on horseradish, so you
I'm
can't get
so
much.
glad you finished that sentence
You
because
can't-
I wasn't sure where that was going.
I screwed. Beep. I screwed lids on horseradish. One of many jobs I had.
Yeah.
It was not. A
All my
great-
jobs were like, okay. I just remember I had a ton of them. Like 1 month I got like paychecks from 5 different places, just doing everything I could.
That's
All
right.
right.
We're a hardworking generation.
Well, yeah.
Our generation is, for the most part, I think.
Yeah. But I think each generation just gets lazier because things get easier. Oh, I'll just get off that soapbox now because we're talking about
That's right.
Karloff.
Everybody in this chat is younger than we are, so you just insulted everyone.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you know.
That's what I do, even when I try not to. All right. So one day when he was sitting at the bus stop in the pouring rain, of course, and he was spotted by Lon Chaney Sr.
Oh my gosh!
Stopped and
you're-
gave him a
wait
ride.
So you're telling me
I'm telling you.
Boris Karloff was in L.A.
Mhm.
sitting on a park bench or a
Bus stop.
bus stop, pouring
Yeah.
down rain. Lon Chaney Sr.'s driving by and sees him.
Picks him up,
Wow.
gives him a ride, and he gave him a little piece of advice.
He did. What
And
did
I
he tell
shall
him?
read it so I don't say it wrong.
Okay.
He said, you need to find something different that will set you apart and is different from anything someone else has done or is willing to do, and do it better. Great advice.
It is good advice.
I'm going to say it again. So to find something different that will
Mhm.
set you apart and is different from anything someone else has done or is willing to do, and do it better. Great advice.
I like it.
So also he made 80 films before starring in as the monster in Frankenstein in 1931. But it wasn't until 1932 that he finally got top billing for the film, That Old Dark House,
Not to be confused with a similar film called The Old Dark Horse,
which is what I said
Yeah.
before.
during rehearsal.
Yeah, that's the only, well, we always tell him we don't rehearse, but he made me read it out loud.
It is
Which is
shocking
good.
when you watch this show to even
That we don't
think that we
rehearse.
might have rehearsed, right?
Nope, I always
Well.
say, what's next? Because that would be the name if you had to title your memoirs. What would it be?
The old dark horse.
Might be. What's next? Okay. So I've dropped some knowledge on you. Now I'm gonna have a gummy
actually,
one.
now you maybe think about it. If I was writing my memoirs, I would call it. I think that would be.
Uh-oh. Instant
Well, that'd be
replay.
perfect, yeah. Okay.
All right, 20 comments. Oh my god.
Oh, they just come
Good,
rolling
Ron.
in.
We only have 3 thumbs up.
It's terrible. Well, actually, that's probably pretty good. I wasn't even expecting that many. Boris Karloff was born the same year as my grandfather. How about
Wow.
that, Randy Howell? Look at that. Skip Edwards' art is here.
Nice. Good evening.
Shadowhawk Talks just joined us. Speaking of Merv the Astro Chimp, it's Zaid Comics. Phil Diaz is here.
Mhm.
About that. Horror Mike has joined us. Oh, look at Daniel Russell.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe you should draw this.
Put that in your background.
Shake it. Where's the
Aww.
Butt Shelley you mean buy Shelley a shot tier? 2 weeks left and a shot tier, no shot tier. We don't want to promote the idea that Shelley may or may not have a drinking problem. So
I don't.
she doesn't. We don't want
I
to
have
promote.
no problem drinking at
We
all.
don't want. Look at that. Rainey leads Aaron by $4,053, but Aaron has 258 more backers. Aaron, work harder. No, I'm working hard. I got more backers. They're just not spending as much money as they are on Rainey. I don't know what that means. But,
I don't know. We'll have to check out her extras.
but I'm all about the backers because I want more people reading the books.
Right.
That's how you grow, I think. I think that's how you grow.
I think so.
I think it is. It sounds like a plan. Anyway. Citizen Ronan says, my dad worked on the railroad and hard rock mining all before he turned 18. My grandfather, an Italian immigrant, worked on the railroad.
We even found his immigration papers on Ancestry.com.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cool. Of course, I never got to meet him, but
The Bean Pad. He died when I was 12 or 13. Hail, greetings to the little Presties and the chat. How about that? Thank you. One slick dude. Just be careful not to spill any of that alcohol, Maboose. Maybe a spelling error in
That's
there.
alcohol abuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
There's
spin.
Randy. Randy, he says we're cheap. Aaron. See, Randy
No.
backs like 15 times and spends
he's
$3
amazing.
each time. I don't know how he does it.
Just
But
get a little bit. Get the sleeve
I'm
of the
just
t-shirt.
kidding.
This time I get the collar.
Randy's a big backer. I greatly appreciate it. Jimmy's here.
Jimmy.
Hi, you
Hope
too.
you're feeling
With
better.
Hearts. Thank you so much. Wendy, are you guys moving to Texas? Not yet. We're waiting on our kids to figure out what they're going to do with their lives, and then we can make a final decision about where we're
Well,
going to end
and
up.
I think the housing market's about to implode.
Yeah, we may have to wait it to go down and then back up again. So who knows?
Well, and moving with a 91-year-old
That's true.
makes it tough.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we have so much crap.
We do.
Oy.
You know what else?
Oy.
You know what else we have?
What do we
Shelley?
got? What do we got?
We have videos to show. That's what we have to do. And today,
awesome.
we're going to take a look at the. As I stall to find
I
it,
know.
there it is. Let's take a look at our rights and image for the day.
Ooh, okay. I like the hand.
Well, there you go. She likes one thing about the drawing. That, of course, is from Swamp Thing #1, the big splash page. Now, there was several splash pages in there. Now, I was asked when I worked on a book called Sludge.
Sludge.
You may remember it.
Oh.
Now, look at that. Does that feel slightly familiar, just from a different angle?
Yeah.
Now,
an homage?
Not really. Now, this is an interesting thing about this. I bring this up because there is a little bit of a story behind it. This is also the limited edition silver cover sludge. Printed 5,000 of those. I don't think there's 5,000 people that were reading Ultraverse. No, there was. Okay, so here's the deal on that. So in the script it said that Sludge crushes this car that's coming out and full of these gang members. And immediately my mind went to Swamp Thing #1 with that page we just saw. And I thought, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to copy Wrightson, right? Because I'm already doing a monster book that's very similar. I don't know what Shelley's doing over here. And I didn't want to do something to make it look like I was trying to rip Wrightson off, right? So I went out of my way to turn it around and make sure it was completely opposite of what he did. So I drew the page, it came out, and then you remember Overstreet was doing those weekly updates because, you know, the collecting prices on books in the 90s were just going crazy every week. They were literally changing weekly. And so I got one of those things because I am a collector, of course, and flipping through it, and I saw Sledge #1 in there. I was like, yeah, cool. And it said Swamp Thing #1 swipe. I mean, it would like listed it as a feature of the comic, and I just went nuts. And so I wrote them a letter back in those days because we didn't have email or anything. So I actually wrote them a letter, and I was really pissed because I thought they're accusing me of swiping when I went out of my way to not swipe it. And I was like, I demand an apology and all this kind of crap. I wanted a printed apology saying, you know, but they removed it, but they said, why should we apologize to you? And I went, I don't know. I was just really mad, but because I didn't swipe it. But then now we kind of look at swipes as the same thing as homages, and no one accuses somebody of trying to get away with something. They most of the time figure they know that they're, you know, doing it, and everybody else knows they're doing it. So therefore it's an homage, not some sort of sleight of hand or trickery, trying to get away with something. But anyway, I was a little ticked off and wrote him a letter. So there you go.
Okay.
Brian Suddenly Old wants to know, Shelley, let me know when you're having a garage sale so I can help you get rid of Aaron's junk. I just told my mom this the other day.
Oh my gosh, it's right there.
What
I'm
is?
looking for my water bottle.
Holy
It's
crap.
right behind. Oh,
Are you keeping an eye on that Submariner thing, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just was telling her the other day, she was saying, you got too much stuff. And I said, I'm going to have a heck of an estate sale, though. When I'm gone, people will be flocking to this house to buy my junk. So there you have it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let's see. Looking at loves Wrightson's Frankenstein. I got news for you on One Slick. Everybody
does.
Everybody loves it, but that is great stuff. So you have great taste. I can give you that. Rawunch is a cool sound effects. Rawunch.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was.
Good question by the
Where?
At the bottom.
Let's see. One artist asking another artist a question. Aaron, I was sending someone to your campaign, and I was hoping you could get the first as well as the second. Can you get both? First,
better hurry.
As well as the second.
Issues.
Yeah, there's only a few left of the Esther cover
is available.
Right, as an add-on. So they can go to any perk, and it'll be there as an add-on. There's only a few left, though, so get them over there. Toot sweet.
Sweet. I did.
But thank you for sending them over there for me, Dan.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Oh, I'm gonna start camping out right now. There you go. Heck yeah, he was. Heck yeah, he was. You can clear.
Yeah.
You can see it in the Frankenstein work like crazy. Yeah, he's clarifying. Now, speaking of Frankenstein, here's a young man that wanders around the wilds of the Northwest, doing strange things and creating very interesting and unique books.
Yeah.
Everybody put your hands together for a guy. I didn't know if he was going to show up or not, but here he is.
Here he is.
We call him Narwhal. You can call him whatever you like. There he is.
Hey! How's it going?
Oh, it's a going.
Hi, Shelley. Nice to meet you in person or on the screen. Or I like on Twitter. Your personality shines through. It's good.
Thanks. For good and bad.
Okay, so I got to clear something up with you, Narwhal. You contacted me, said, hey, man, we should be on each other's streams and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Can you come on Sunday? Oh, yeah, that'd be fine. And then he sends me and says, oh, I'm busy now. I can't make it.
And then
he says, oh, wait, like 15 minutes before the show starts, I can make it.
Well, we appreciate that.
Don't be messing with us. Nora.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Right?
Sorry about
Show
that.
a little respect. Jeez.
Sorry,
No, okay. So
we're so serious as I'm eating gummy worms.
we are. We're going to talk about your campaign and other things in a minute, but we have a routine that we have to follow on this show that's a little bit different than other people's shows. So I hope you will.
We don't say better.
Yeah, just different.
Just different.
That you'll bear with us a little bit here.
What now?
Oh, actually, since you're here, I'm going to do this right now because I prepared a special clip that I think you'll enjoy. Shelley, I want to know what you think of this.
Nice, that's awesome.
She hates that clip. Oh,
I hate it.
I sneak it in whenever I can because those long fingers. She just
especially like he'll say, "Kate, look closely at this," and I'll be like,
"Yeah," and then I'll just sucker her right in and boom
every time. Starting to become desensitized to it, you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new. I'm gonna find a new clip.
Yeah.
So is it technically? It's still his 100th birthday, isn't it? Or Nosferatu, the movie's 100th birthday.
All the way for 2022. I guess it's 1922 when it came out, and then they got sued by the Stoker estate and ordered to burn all the prints, and like one print got smuggled out, maybe two, and so it still exists today because of spy work almost. But yeah,
can you imagine that if it got lost? What a bummer, because it's such a great movie, and it's like. London After Midnight, the great lost one they refer to it as, because there are no remaining copies of that film with Lon Chaney Sr.
Yeah, it would be a bummer. It's funny because you wouldn't know what you're missing. So, but it's good. Like London After Midnight, like what else is like that. And
well, Todd Browning directed. It's Lon Chaney Sr. You got to figure it's awesome, right? But
yeah.
Stupid nitrate film stock. They didn't know that it was going to disintegrate, and there you go.
Or if there's like a modern metaphor, it's like, what if there was like another Quentin Tarantino movie that we know it exists, but we can never see it? You'd be like, oh, I wonder what that would be.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Thomas is giving you some advice, Narwhal, but I wouldn't follow it if I were him. He says, mess with Aaron all you want. We do it all the time, but there's consequences for it. So I don't like to get all violent, but sometimes you got to knock people around, keep them in shape. So
I'll wear like a catcher's outfit first. And then
there you go.
Yeah.
Be wise. Aaron is grumpy when he wakes up. Aaron's grumpy most of the time, not just when I wake up. Wait a minute. What's this? Wasn't London After Midnight lost in 1965 Vault Fire? Randy, that could be true. I don't know. Narwhal, do you have any sort of inside monster information on that?
No, but that's interesting. Like it did exist for a while, and then now it's gone.
Well, the thing is, though, if it existed through 1965, don't you think someone would have made a copy of it before then?
Yeah, and then
especially as much as they replayed Universal Monster movies on TV and re-released them in the theaters and stuff. I don't know, Randy. I need some verification on that you're just not making stuff up.
Yeah.
Now, what does this say? Blue Samurai Zero says thermonuclear war could be a good thing. It will save Shelley the expensive radiation treatments. Hope you're doing well, dear.
Oh, yeah. At least in my treatments, there's just tiny little bits of radiation.
In 1965 MGM Vault Fire. I mean, it could be. It could be true. I'm not doubting you, Randy. I'm doubting you a little bit, but not a huge amount.
Not a lot.
Yeah, just a little seed of doubt is floating around in there. So we'll do some fact checking on that and see what they have to say about it.
I will.
You know how fact checkers are. They're always.
Oh
yeah. You look it up later.
My opinion. Oh, okay.
You missed the Wrightson of the day, but that's okay. There's more fun stuff coming.
Oh no, that means more embarrassing things for Shelley. Okay.
I like to show a little bit of artwork that I found in my flat files. And we're going to do that right now.
Oh, cool.
Or are we back? Okay, so
play it again.
Yeah, I'm not ready. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my Razer. Do you have a Razer Kaya?
What's that? Is that a camera?
Yeah, it's really high def. It's very nice. See, I'm using it right here.
No, we had another one. It just wasn't. No bueno.
Yeah, it was just not good. And this one is
Careful
really
for the
nice.
cherry pie.
Yeah, we don't want to get. This one is
Careful
really
for the
nice.
cherry pie.
Yeah, we don't want to get. Okay, so a lot of you guys, some of you guys may know some of this
what's,
work. Give me
Wow.
full screen here for a
that
second.
one?
Don't. We're not gonna
That one?
ditch you, Narwhal. I'm just gonna go full screen for a moment here to. Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
Do it. That looks amazing.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I was going to do this coloring book, right? And so here's some of the pictures that I put together. I don't think I'm going to do the coloring book anymore, but I got to use these for something. But there's this one. We got like a Yeti. Everybody loves a Yeti.
Oh, gotta have a Yeti.
And a chick with a sword and a bikini in the snow because that's really warm.
Big boobage.
Yeah, of course. Oh, and look at this. John Carter of Mars action. We'll turn it sideways so you can see there's a Banth with Deja
Sweet.
Thoris and John Carter going off a cliff. Seems pretty dangerous at this point. You can see Barsoom back here in the background. So, no flying little jet things to pick them up. But so there was this piece.
That was going to be for the coloring book too, or?
Yeah, these were all supposed to be for a coloring book. And then people said, don't do a coloring book, you idiot. Do a comic book. So I did Wraith of God instead.
Worked out pretty well.
Yeah, but then here's a little pirate action. This crusty dude coming out of the
release the Kraken.
The wall there with he's got like those little, what are those things called, little sea urchin things growing on him?
Barnacles.
Thank you.
There you go.
Barnacles it is.
Blistering barnacles.
Yes, that's
it's Barnacle Boy.
I should put a little word balloon here. Blistering barnacles. I'll have to give you credit for it. But so anyway, yeah, so I did that. And now this is an IP I have called Warriors of the Light. That may change. But it's a fantasy epic. And a little, what do you call that? A dwarf guy back there, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you got an elf chick with a sword, and then a dude with a spear, and then a big rock guy. I mean, it's, what more could you ask for in a story?
Serious.
It's right there.
Sirs.
Yeah. Every one of these drawings looks like it could be like launching an IP and worth millions of dollars.
I know. Yeah. If only I was your age, I would have time to actually do all of them. This is Red Riding Hood. Don't ask me why I did this, but I really enjoyed it. It's a fun piece.
Awesome.
Gnarly tree. This is like my favorite tree I've ever done right here. It's kind of plugish. Don't you think? And then I did this. These are
I'm trying to study your moves. You got the spot blacks and the hatching for texture in some spots, and then it's like super awesome.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. This is a fat alligator, so he's eating well. Look at that. There's a nervous fish down there. Not sure if he should bite the hook or not. So
nice. So you do kind of a cartoonier style and a more comic booky style. Is that correct?
Yes. I feel I'm fairly flexible. I can't touch my toes though. Now here's a little swamp monster thing. This actually, I colored this, and this ended up in the Emerald City. What do you call it? The hardcover book. It was a charity book that they it had art in it, and program. It wasn't really a program book, but it was a charity book, and the proceeds went to St. Jude's. And so at Emerald City every year they would have one of these books, and I did this for that many years ago, 2009.
Wow,
that was a while ago. And then this is an alternate favorite.
Oh, my favorite.
Had a print of this actually. It's sold out. I
colored that one.
Yeah, I think you did flat this. But it's kind of our pigs in the barnyard tended to be superhero.
So when you say the flat folder, the flat file, is that like finished art that's ready to be flatted? Is that what you mean by it?
No, I mean physically flat files.
Flat files.
So like
we have
wooden files that are the drawers are
4 of them.
Here, let me come back on.
Oh, okay.
That's still not us.
Oh, it's still not you yet.
Narwhal's back, but we're not.
Hello. It's just
there
me
we are
here tonight and some ghostly voices. Oh, there they are.
There we are. You know the long files that are the drawers are about this wide is all deep, and they're super long, and there's stacks of them. And
yeah, we have 4 of them.
It's like old artists used to use. It's like called Flat Files.
Yep. So there's
Here, watch the intro again and look at what I'm standing in front of her. Okay, so watch this, Narwhal.
Nice.
See those
That's
wooden
cool.
drawers back there? Those are Flat Files.
That's
And-
funny because the first time I saw that, I didn't know what they were, so I didn't even see it. But now that I know, I saw
Now
it.
that you know,
Our brains are weird, you know.
well that
Mhm.
that's what I always say. If we ever move, if we ever actually get to move, we're just gonna have to burn the place down and run because
Well,
we have so much stuff.
Yeah.
they used to use these a lot in architects.
Sure.
Thank you. Architectural offices, because they would have blueprints and stuff that were really big, and they would sit flat in these files. And so when everything went digital about, I don't know,
Million years ago. whatever.
well, it started
Yeah.
about 10, 15 years ago, and really people started switching over to computer stuff and weren't using the physical drawings anymore. You could look like on Craigslist or whatever, and they would be listing flat files for sale because they were just trying to get rid of them, and I would just buy them up. And I got
And
5
fill
of
them up.
I got 5 of them now. So
Do you? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4.
okay, I've only got 4. That means I should get
Are
another
you
one.
telling me that you're
I'm
getting
thinking
another one?
about it. I don't have any place to put it, or I would get another one.
Oh, we have them like even stashed around the house. Like
Oh,
even
yeah.
inventory stuff's just
Well, the thing
all
is, you
over.
start filling them with artwork, and they get really, really heavy. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to stack them on a second floor, which we're up on upstairs where the studio is. If I was down or in a basement, I could just stack them, and the weight wouldn't be that big a deal. But I don't want to put that much weight and just be, have it collapse our ceiling to our living room. Probably wouldn't be great.
no.
Let's see here.
We missed some.
We have to check the chat again here.
That's a good one. Leg kick.
Leg Kick says he'd like to see the professionals draw each other's characters. Aaron Lepresti, Graham Nolan drawing Wraith of God would be awesome. You on the Shanu would be fantastic. That might be a fun little
That would be a fun bros.
bros to do that. I might. Hey,
There's
Good
your
idea.
good idea. I
Mhm.
like that. Let's see. The Beampad says, "Oh my goodness, Aaron, a artist edition size book of those prints, please." Well, if I did an artist book of something like that, I would have to do more of them.
Yep.
So it actually could fill a book.
You got to finish this one first.
So, right.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, do you claim this, actually? Narwhal is the unofficial hype man of CG. Do you think that's an accurate description of you?
I like that's like the guy in the background being like, "What word?" I don't know. I don't know if I've actually done that too much, but I mean, I got the EVS.
To say,
all
yeah.
caps.
Yeah, well, you're representing right now, so that's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was this? Christina Lynn says, I grew up with the original Munsters, so I'd be a little biased against the new movie. Oh, they're
Yeah.
talking about stuff in the chat that doesn't concern us. We need to keep our
Well, that's
nose out of
their-
their business. What if they're
Parts I
talking
love,
about
too.
us and we
Well.
don't want to know what they're saying?
Yeah. It's called the Narwhal Nudge.
The Narwhal Nudge. It puts many a book over the top, I heard.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to be confused with the Bancroft bump, the Narwhal Nudge.
Well, I've had the Bancroft bump before, so I've actually gone in a show and it felt like I was in Australia, which we were, what, 95 was it? 94, 95. That's where I first met Dale Keown. He was a young rocker then. Now he's an old rocker. But he was a young rocker back then. So let's take a look at something, Narwhal, and you can kind of explain yourself, if you will. Don't worry, it's
Explain yourself.
Yeah.
You're grounded.
okay. So what do we got going on here?
Yeah, this is the short story collection. They've kind of collected over the years, so I've got a lot of them now. I actually have 2 volumes, and there's the kind of super curated colored one where I'm kind of trying to get it where, like, if you ever read a short story collection where you like every single story, I feel like that's like kind of rare. So I'm trying to do that. And like Kickstarter too, they have a ton of anthologies, but this is like an anthology where I'm involved in every thing, so it's all kind of unified and it is kind of curated, and there is some overlap of characters and worlds and stuff like that make it a pretty fun short story collection. And then
What's going on here? What's this all about?
I think that's just like an old meme photo of me. That was when I lived in Portland. That's like a couple years old, where I hadn't I didn't have a bed yet, so I was sleeping.
Oh, okay. Well, you got your mask on
Love
though, so
that.
people didn't really know who you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. It says it includes 3 naked samurai shorts, collected, remastered, and colored. I'm interested to see the naked samurai because I don't know that I'd want to go into a sword fight without any clothes on. I'm just saying, but we'll find out, I guess. 4 Earthbound shorts, never before seen. So the naked samurai stuff is something you've already done, and it's being reprinted in this collection. Is that what you're telling me here?
Yeah. Because with my campaigns, I usually launch a sketchbook, and there'll be some short stories in the sketchbook. So
I see.
All those are included here. It's about 1/3 of the content is the reprinted from the sketchbooks. But the sketchbooks in total, they sell like 150, 100, maybe 150 copies max. So
I've been down
not
that
many
road.
people have seen them even. So yeah.
I know it's funny. You do a sketchbook like that, and you sell, 100 or a couple hundred copies, and then you're like, I don't want to reprint this. I already done it, and then you realize, wait a minute, hardly anybody saw it. So
Yeah. So it's like a collected, but then it's also getting colored and remastered, and then the new content and stuff. But yeah.
okay, so we have a horror short that utilizes Mid-Journey AI art for backgrounds.
Yeah, that's kind of controversial. I've found people have very strong feelings about AI art.
Yeah.
But
I do too. They usually end with me extending a middle finger, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Aaron.
I'm just kidding. Pickle, a story about how a man survived at sea with nothing, no food or water for 2 weeks. How did he do it? I bet we find out in the story, right?
Yeah, you got to.
Don't tell us.
Don't ruin it.
That's your Narwhal. He starts talking about his stories. And he tells you the entire story. You're like, dude,
No.
let me buy the book.
Yeah.
All right, Al, you're doing an adaptation.
We have 7 minutes left.
It hasn't moved at all, huh?
No.
We're maybe
Watch it
bidding,
in eBay
bidding a comic here. Okay, so Mask of Red. So you adapted Mask of the Red Death in this, huh?
Yeah. That one, it's very inspired. It's by the news about when the lockdown was happening, and in California, Gavin Newsom had that dinner with his friends at the French Laundry, and they weren't wearing masks, and the servants were wearing masks. It was in the middle of the lockdown. That shit pissed me off so much, and I was like, you know what, that reminds me of like Mask of Red Death, and so I sort of, not to give it away, I'll stop. I won't give it away, but it's like that. It's like,
okay, all right, you've said enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we looking at here? This is kind of cool looking. What is that?
That's an Earthbound short with a guest artist, Nicholas Hunter, who's a great Australian artist too.
I like his stuff. That's really nice looking stuff.
Yeah,
like that
he's
alien
really
guy.
good. He's done a little bit of work for Peter Samedi. He's kind of here and there in CG doing some work, but yeah, I really like his art, and so he did one of the shorts.
Cute.
This is actually kind of fun and cute. I like this.
Yeah, that's my buddy Jared Jewell, he's a big collaborator of mine I met years ago, and I think he's a genius, but he's like so shy. He's not really even fully in CG right now, but I'm kind of bringing him in more and more. And we have a big collaboration coming up too next year. But yeah.
Okay. And then we got Mistress Manto.
Yeah, that's the artist for the Mask of Red Death.
Okay.
CG guy.
I like this. Von Klaus, who's also doing the Black Terror, right?
Yeah. Von Klaus, CG mainstay. He and I we're two of the like coming from zero guys. Like in 2017, 2018, we like weren't previous pros, launched our books. They took off on their own. So we're kind of like in the scene, group came up together. And so
you guys are kind of buddies. You guys are a great example of, kind of like building your own audience and success. And I think that's great. And then this is really nice looking stuff. I really like the art. There's Donald DeLay. You get to see Donald.
Yeah, Donald DeLay is the artist for Cave Slave. So that one, and then I colored it and I do some of the art. It's like a little bit of collage-y, like some of the art I draw for this comic too. But
okay.
And this is the pickle one, so it's like cartoony style. It's a dude named Danny Cat who's he's like from Southeast Asia, I think, and he's just a student that I've kind of become friends with, and he drew that one for me.
Cool.
Wow.
Aiden McDonough. You got a
Aiden
bunch
McDonough.
of guys with
That's-
foreign sounding names.
Yeah, that one's in the B-sides, the black and white collection. And that one's called Marbles, and it's about assassins that turn their targets into marbles, and you become red or black in a mix of the both, and the ratio of black to red means something, and they're trying to figure out what it means.
Okay. Now, did you wrote most of these, or some of them, or
Yeah,
half of
I wrote
them?
like all of them but 2, I think.
Okay.
So Vaughn wrote Cave Slave, and then Jared's in the cartoony one that he did, he wrote as well. So that one, that's kind of the only one where I'm like, just Narwhal presents. Like I actually didn't have anything to do with that one other than
Okay. I see there's code in his eye, though, or her eye.
yeah.
Fancudo Ezekiel. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to abbreviate some of these names for me.
I know Facuno's a CG guy. I think he's the Argentinian, maybe. He's South America, and he's a great guy. I want to keep working with him. He's real fun, real professional.
Am I bidden or not?
Hang on a
Hold
second.
on. Am I bidden or not?
Yeah, I don't need it, but it's a good deal. Just do like
It says as is. Make sure you look closely at. It's
yeah,
slabbed.
I know. So go like I don't know, 104,
Okay.
51, because I don't really need it. Okay, now this is a big naked chick floating in water, so everybody's gonna like that.
Yeah, this is an Earthbound short as well, and this one and Cave Slave are 20 pages, and I think the Robozan remaster is going to be 20, even 24 pages. So there's 3 short stories that are like almost like one shot. They're a little bit longer than a short story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now this
Here's
is the
AI.
Yeah,
So-
this is really bizarre. The only reason I'm not just outraged by this is because I actually like this story. I reading the short story. I remember seeing the movie. This is Incident at Owl Creek, right?
Yeah.
Or Occurrence on Owl Creek Bridge. Yeah. Now, is it a faithful adaptation, or is it sort of just based on it and you kind of did your own thing?
Yeah, so it's like truncated because I can't put all the prose in the comic, but the only writing is from the short story. So
Okay.
it's like it just moves a little faster, kind of faster pace, but it's the same plot and the same thing that happens. And it was a decision to do it too because of the AI, because I kind of wanted to do something where I use AI, but you can't do it really now, even still for comics in general. There's all because it's so limited in what it can actually do. But if you use it just for backgrounds, then it becomes a little bit more realistic. But still, you have to pick something kind of abstract because it can't do like changing camera angles of the same location and stuff. And I was like, well, that kind of works for Owl Creek Bridge because it's this fever dream anyway.
Right.
And yeah, so it came from that. And then I knew the AI had a thing where it will no matter what. This is especially true of like 3 months ago, even the AI, because it's been growing kind of fast. But anything it does, it makes it creepy. So I was working with Sheila for a while, or with her on it, and she's like putting on the input. She's like, okay, so you want it creepy? So she puts make a creepy bridge, and she types that. I'm like, no. Don't type creepy. Just say make a beautiful bridge, because the AI can't do that. It makes it accidentally super creepy. And so we did that like the whole way through and kind of used the AI creepy mistakes to kind of play up the horror aspects that sort of exist in that story already.
Now, is this all done?
Yeah, almost. I'm still chipping away on like lettering and finishing some stuff. I got to do the Robozan remaster, which that actually might be a big like undertaking. It could potentially take a month, but I have a plan with that one to do it relatively fast with the help of some friends too. Okay, this is Robozan. So this is the one that's getting remastered, because this one, it's only 12 pages right now, and it doesn't really end. It ends with like to be continued, and it exhibits a fun like short story-esque like concept where it's these monkeys on a typewriter, and they're like getting if they type not gibberish, then they get sent to the breeding tent, breeded 1,000 times, and brought back and keep typing. But if they type gibberish, they get murdered. So it's kind of this like developing AI is what it's like a metaphor for.
See, there's a monkey getting plowed right there. I guess he didn't type Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Foreign Agent by Narwhal. Look at that, Foreign Agent.
Yeah. So that one is just the re-release of an older book with a new cover. It's like worth mentioning because that's the only other kind of new thing sort of on the campaign, and it's available as an add-on or with the tier where you get everything from Narwhal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And there's you getting thrown out of a restaurant.
Yeah. That's me at the Fred Meyer Deli. That's what Comicsgate helped me escape that place.
Nice.
That nightmare place. Oh, but you guys know that's the Hawthorne Deli. So yeah.
Oh, Hawthorne. Yeah, we never got over there. We're West Siders.
Yeah. Well, we didn't win the eBay auction.
Oh, well,
141.
I didn't want it that bad. I already got a copy. Okay, so the link to this campaign is in the description of this video, and I want you guys to check it out. We're going to order it, and you can also get your Nosferatu book in here someplace, right? Can't you?
Yeah, it's in the add-ons and it's in the Narwhal Completionist tier. And yeah, there's still some people, because that was the most recent campaign. It's kind of still fresh, and reviews are still coming in for it. It's getting reviewed tonight on Well Read, and a lot of people are kind of generally really liking it. So people who missed it do want a chance to get that, and so you can get that.
That's right. So you want to get it during the 100th anniversary of Shelley's favorite character, Nosferatu. So we don't want to miss that.
Can't go wrong with that.
Hey, got your backer already. How about
Boom!
that?
Yes, thank you.
It does there's some value to come on this show.
The Lopresti lunge. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We've got the Lopresti lunge. Sheldon, what are you talking about? Now I heard there was a horror aspect in here. I don't know what that means. Narwhal is fearless in what he does. He's not afraid to try different things. We really like that. There's Citizen Ronan giving you a thumbs up for your creativity.
Thank you.
French laundry, is that like regular laundry but with croissants? It could be.
Yeah.
They do your laundry and insult you at the same time.
It's some famous restaurant that's really expensive, but I don't know beyond that really.
I slept on the floor on top of my clothes. That was very humbling. I did that once too. Shelley locked me out in the garage.
Not on purpose.
Unbelievable.
Not on purpose, but he when our first house,
middle of winter. Thank you very much.
Our first house, his studio, we kind of finished the garage and studio was out there, but the laundry was still out there. And you know how like you close doors and you just lock, you don't even, it's just a habit, right? So I'm sure I went out there and said goodnight, and Josh was super little, so he would usually fall asleep with me. And then when Aaron came in, he would carry him into his bed. Anyway, so I wake up in the morning and Aaron's not in bed. And I was like, wow, he worked really late last night. That's crazy. I better go check on him. And I go out and open and he's sleeping on the garage floor, but
which was concrete.
Yeah, but we put a little bit of like really thin carpet over it.
Yeah.
And he's got all like the pile of dirty clothes on him to keep him warm. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, why did you wake me up? And then he's like, yeah, I'm going to go in and wake you up, because he could have gone around to the front and ring the doorbell or something.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do it like at 2 a.m. I'd freak her out. So
I wake up Josh, and
I just laid there.
I probably would have been a tad bit grumpy.
That would be humbling. That's the life of an artist when you're staying up later than your wife drawing.
Yep.
Well,
and working in the garage.
Totally normal. Well, even now, like when we moved back from Florida, we were looking at houses, and one house we liked it, but it wasn't big enough to have a home studio. And he's like, well, I guess I could do another studio in the garage. And I just turned on, I was like, no, you have worked too hard for too long as a professional
to sleep on the floor
to have
in
your
the
studio in the garage.
Dirty clothes.
So in fact, in this house, we ended up having to do some remodeling.
Yeah, to make it big enough.
Because he has a pretty large studio in here now.
Baz says Monster MD was one of my favorite CG books. That was Von Klaus, right?
Yeah, that was his first.
Cool. I remember that. Yeah, that was.
And that one was 6 figures, which is awesome. And it is great. And he did it with Monica McCagney. She's drawing Terror also. I have a book coming out with her. It's going to be the book after this one. But I can't. I'm not promoting that. Yeah, just hinting at it, kind of just
hinting it, giving us a little narwhal hint. Yeah. Sheldon Martin says there's an energy drink called Nose. Add Ferratu onto it, and you have that be your mock sponsor for the comic. Nos.
Yeah. People don't know this, but as kids we always pronounced it Nos, I think. But yeah, people don't know that Nos is actually short for Nosferatu.
Oh, we should.
That's what I say, according to me.
Yes.
Well, if you watch the Werner Herzog version of Nosferatu,
I haven't.
They sit around the fire. These guys, these townspeople, and they're referring to the Nosferatu, but in a way that they're using Nosferatu to say vampire. So then I said, well, wait a minute. So this guy's name is Vampire the Vampire? So that was kind of our not very clever Nosferatu. He's Vampire the Vampire. Aaron should do a tour of the studio video. You know, we did a tour of the studio on The Professionals a while back, but I'd have to clean it. And that's such a lot of work. I don't think I could even
if I have a decent week, maybe I can
fathom even doing something like
do
that. But you know what?
What?
You're a young guy, Narwhal. You may not appreciate moments from our past.
Oh, but they're so precious. They are really precious.
And so I like to show something called Precious Moments.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at this week's Precious Moments from yesteryear. Look at Shelly's getting she's getting teared up already. She doesn't even know what it is.
I know. Oh,
Kirk
loves those moments.
He had his hands full.
I watched that entire original series for the first time a few years ago, and I love it. But yeah, that
it's unbelievably good.
Yeah, it's like that. Even that episode's good if you ignore that terrible fight.
I love it though. You know, for a TV show from the '60s with no budget, that was a pretty good suit. Actually,
we even have a Gorn toy.
That's true.
I have a Gorn toy.
Yeah.
So now, have you ever seen this one? This is my favorite Precious Moments.
Oh,
and since you have never been on the show before, I'm going to show you this one because
this one.
It's kind of fun. So let's do a double Precious Moments from yesteryear in honor of Narwhal, our young guest. Okay.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't
you? That's awesome. I've never seen that one.
I just wanted to eat some more pie. That's why I ran that video. But I do love that one. It's
you know what I saw? They said so. I think is it Mel Blanc? Am I getting that right? He's the voice.
Mel Blanc. Those guys? Yeah, Mel Blanc. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said on his tombstone when he died, it said, "That's all, folks."
What would yours say?
They
could draw no more.
Mine would say, "The old dark horse lies here." Well, Shelly, we were doing some rehearsing before the show.
We never, but he's so worried.
Well, she was dropping information about Boris Karloff.
Dropping knowledge.
And one of the last things was that he got his first headlining, his name above the title, basically. And the first movie that he got was The Old Dark House. And she read it, The Old Dark Horse. I said, he
goes, read that out loud. I'm thinking in my head, I can read. Don't worry about it. I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, now The Old Dark Horse is going to be a running gag around here, I'm sure, for quite some time. I'll have to find a clip from it for next week. And now a clip from The Old Dark Horse.
Make more fun of Shelly.
Boris Karloff in The Old Dark Horse.
Do it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you guys are on fire.
Let's see. Oh, where there's pie, there's bound to be EVS. Well, I don't know if he's lurking in the shadows.
You guys have no idea.
I do know this for sure, whether it brings EVS in or not.
Everybody loves pie.
I mean, it's true. Everybody does, right? Are you a pie or cake guy?
Probably cake. Someone posted on Twitter today like jack-o'-lantern version of a pie, and it was terrifying. I should have added you guys. I might if I find it again.
Was it like a pumpkin pie?
No, it was like a cherry pie, but it looked like gory smile. And it it was all messed up.
I'd eat it. Let's see. Jeff Potts says, "Here lies Aaron Lopresti. His career went to Uranus and back."
That's another long story of.
Yeah, Shelly's to blame for most of the
ongoing bad jokes.
The bad jokes are rolling around here. Excuse me. Aldion says, "Are there any old dark horses in Wraith of God?" There actually, there is. Might be young dark horses though. I haven't really aged them yet. Stippling Vaughn says, "My tombstone should say the last dot has been laid." I like that.
he
That's
does
good.
those.
If pizza is included in the pie category, I'm a pie man for sure. Is it? Well, it's pizza pie, right?
Pie.
I guess
It's a
it
pizza
does
pie.
count. Doesn't it count?
Hey, yeah. Well, I don't know.
What are you even doing? I don't even
I
know.
have no idea.
I don't even know who you are
That
anymore.
reminds
I'm
me-
really ready to show these.
Did you guys see at all the trailer for Mario Brothers, the video game?
I haven't seen
I
it yet.
didn't.
Yeah, and it's what's his name? It's
It's
Chris.
Chris,
Plays the
our-
voice.
That guy?
Yeah.
Guardians
But
of the
his voice
Chris
isn't,
Chris Pratt.
yeah, Chris Pratt. His voice isn't that great. People are a little disappointed, but
Yeah.
for some reason, the French actor sounds just like Mario, but you can't tell what he's saying. So people are all watching the French version of Mario. They're like, "This is Mario," and he's like,
Oh. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Oh
I
my
can do it.
goodness. Okay,
So-
well,
okay.
there's another thing, Narwhal, that we like to do around here. Before we, I want to get a little bit of an interview with you, but we do have one more thing here that Shelly needs. Oh, actually, you know what?
What?
This is a perfect time to bring this up. Are you going to do that?
Maybe.
Okay, Shelly's going to demonstrate, first of all, how to properly use the shot glasses that are available on our campaign.
So on our new campaign, we have
Excuse us 1 second, Narwhal.
ooh, the garbage man.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Does it show up better if I do this?
No,
Not
actually,
much.
it's better the other way.
And then from previously, we have Wraith of God, and we have more of these now, so you can actually get both
That's right.
if you haven't got one.
Start the collection now, folks. And Shelly's going to, a lot of people don't know how to properly use a shot glass.
And make sure that they work well.
Shelly's going to show you how
Yeah.
right now.
Maybe just a tiny one today.
That's
though.
right.
I did a couple last night.
Yeah, well, that's not tiny.
Well,
That's a
smaller
little.
than normal.
Well, okay. Usually she pours herself a double. This is a singular
Well,
shot.
you know, I'm a big girl.
All right. So can you?
So, here we
there it is.
go.
See the Garbage Man logo. You can see it there with the drink in there.
So nice.
It's laser etched.
Yes. With
Okay.
some fireball.
And this is how you do it.
Fireball.
This is how you do it right here.
Ooh, bottoms up. Yeah.
Mm.
See.
Fireball's dangerous because it's kind of tasty. So you can
Woo! It's good. Yep.
All right. Now here's the
I'm gonna
thing.
lick it because you got to get it all out.
Here's the thing that, and those are available right now on our
Yep.
campaign for Wraith of God. If you want to get those shot glasses, they're there as perks
And
or
we
as an
won't send
add-on.
you the used ones. Well, unless you want it.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, they're all come clean, but I'd still wash them before you drank them. Okay, we've been doing this show together for
Over
probably
a
a
year.
year, right? Over a year.
Yeah.
And I think it's, at times we let little tidbits about our private life out for conversation pieces,
Yeah.
and I think I'm going to do a little bit of that now. I do have a video of Shelly and I on just a clip on an earlier date before we were married, and this is why I almost dumped her because I got to tell you, her table manners were, especially so. And this just ties directly into the drinking, and you can see how she's improved. Let's take a look at this. And this is Shelly and me
You're talking.
on I was like our second or third date, and watch how she handles the drink. Okay.
Drink. Good. Good.
You can see how I could have been
I've
embarrassed in that
improved
situation.
my moisturizing since
Yeah,
then.
it was.
Apparently.
Yeah, you can
You're
see.
such a dork. Oh my gosh. I
So-
was like, what is he talking
Yeah.
about?
Shelly,
You
you've
know.
come a long way. Nice
I
job.
have a lot of practice.
Oh, look at that micro saying Aaron's sleeping in the garage tonight. Yeah, that's possible.
And there's no dirty clothes out there.
Yeah, at least there's a stocked refrigerator out there if I
There's
get
a
hungry.
freezer and stuff. Yeah,
So,
you
yeah.
got it.
And maybe
Oh
a
my
couple
gosh.
copies of Wraith of God if I want some reading.
You. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Let's see here. Actually, I saw that. Did you see that trailer for Violent Night? Have you seen that? It's like Santa Claus, but he's kicking butt.
Oh yes.
Josh sent me the trailer, and he's like, I don't care what the reviews are on this. We have to go see this. Oh my gosh. It's the guy that played Hellboy, the new one. And he's in the sheriff in what's the
Stranger Things?
Stranger Things. Yeah. He plays Santa Claus, but kind of a violent Santa Claus, getting a little
funny.
revenge on a family that's being terrorized. So it's a kind of a dark comedy, I guess. But
Nice.
Violent Night is what they're saying. Now, have you seen anything on the Werewolf by Night by any chance, Narwhal? Like a trailer or anything? for the Marvel thing.
It seems like people actually like that one, is what I'm hearing.
Well, it's like black and white, has a 40s feel to it, and I just found out that Man-Thing is in it.
Oh, cool.
So I am definitely watching it. And I don't like to support Disney anymore. I don't like to support Marvel anymore, but gosh darn it, if Man-Thing is in it, I'm watching it.
Watching
So,
it.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so now we have one more thing that we like to do with Shelly. Shelly walks around here and purports to be knowledgeable. She's a teacher, teaches important things like physics and math. So we like to find out every week just exactly what Shelly knows.
What is it this week?
So let's see what Shelly knows.
I'm in
All
so
right,
much
we're going to
trouble.
find out if Shelly knows anything about Jack Kirby.
Because I said Kirby Crackle yesterday, right?
So let's so we'll take a look at a few things here. All right, Shelly.
Yep.
Is this Jack Kirby or is this Lou Fine? Captain America #1 from 1941. Cap punching Hitler. Is this Kirby or Lou Fine?
I'm going to go with Kirby
You are correct.
out of 50-50.
That's right.
Awesome.
Oh, damn, nice.
Shelly's
Okay,
got
I'm 1 for 1.
All
Let's stop now.
right.
I know. I know physics and math, and you're asking me comic book trivia. Oh!
Yeah, just don't do your usual and cheat by looking in the chat.
Okay.
All right. I actually have this comic.
It's a tiny hole.
Is this Kirby or Steve Ditko, do you think?
I think it's Ditko.
Do you think it's Ditko?
Yeah.
You're correct. Woo!
Well, it's different
Holy
style than the other one.
smokes. Look at Shelly.
Booyah!
Oh, 2 for 2.
All right. Bring it.
All right. Let's take a look at this one.
Okay. Takes you forever.
That's 6 buttons I got to push. All right. Is this Kirby or Buscema?
Ooh. I'm going to go with Kirby.
You are correct. She is 3 for 3.
Oh, wow.
Can we stop?
People are freaking out. They can't believe it.
I've been answering these in my head, and I'm 0 for 3.
Randy Howell's digging that Hulk 6 cover. That's Hulk wearing a Speedo. Yeah, I actually, like I said, I own that book. That's an old classic. All right, here we go. Now we're going to get a little bit more later into the 60s here. All right. So, Shelly, is this Kirby or Stranko?
I'm going to say Stranko.
You're correct.
Oh, nice.
If you read it there.
No.
Okay, good. Look at that. Shelly is 4 for 4. I never figured she'd do that.
She's a true wife of a comic artist.
There you
I
go.
guess so.
For 30 years.
I didn't know she knew Kirby.
They call that osmosis. She learned something just.
Yeah, that's
There you
right.
go.
Exactly. All right. This one might be a little bit trickier.
Yeah.
Is this Kirby or Barry Smith?
Kirby.
It is Barry Smith's
Dang it.
first job
Oh.
because he was copying Kirby.
Yeah, that's a trick question.
I should get
Trick
half
question.
credit.
No.
I should get half credit for that one.
Right. You had a
Because
50-50 chance to begin
His
with.
style was more Wright-Cine Frazetta-y, wasn't it?
Well, later, but yeah, he started off being sort of a Kirby clone.
There you have it, folks.
But you can tell by some of these softer feathering on here.
Oh, gotcha.
you know.
Okay.
If you had a keener eye. See, but now you're a 1 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5. That's pretty
That's
good.
not bad. Yeah, trick question. Thank you very much, Henry.
Okay. Henry, don't be playing favorites. All right. Kirby or Ditko?
Ditko.
Kirby.
Shit. Oh,
Oh! Not on my show. Wow, the wheels are coming
whoops
off.
there.
Kirby actually drew the cover, but Ditko did the interiors. This was the very first appearance of Spider-Man, and that's a
Okay.
Kirby cover. You can tell by the ugly Kirby right
Oh, darn it.
but yeah, that's usually one that fools people. So that's like 2 tricks in a row.
Thanks a lot, mister.
Okay, all right. We're not done yet. So you've only missed 2. That's not bad. You got a lot right that I was not thinking. Okay. Kirby or Buscema. This is the first comic book I ever bought as a youth in 1971.
Let's go with Buscema.
You are correct.
Boom.
There's John Buscema right there. I bought this off the newsstand. It was
Nice
I didn't know who the characters were, but I was like, holy crap, that looks cool. I said, holy crap, as a 7-year-old.
Wow.
I didn't say holy crap. My mom would have slapped my mouth.
That cover looks kind of awesome, and it's sort of simple. You know, Modern Marvel, we've been making fun of some of their covers, and like
yes.
like that cover destroys these Modern Marvel covers too.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing about a cover is making someone want to buy the book.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about how well it's rendered or how realistic it looks. It's like, is it exciting? And that's I think one of the great covers of all time. Period. Okay, is this Kirby or Don Heck?
Don Heck.
You're correct.
Boom.
Woo!
The face wasn't ugly.
well,
I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8. That's a B, right?
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad for me.
Yeah, I think I was surprised there. I didn't know you would. I didn't know you'd do that well.
Thank you.
So we'll have to give you a round of applause. Wow.
Appreciate it.
That was really good.
All right.
So Shelley does know Kirby, or at least a lot of Kirby.
I'm a good guesser.
Oh, look at. Let's see. Henry says no. That's not good. Wow.
It do.
Oh my gosh. Now see that probably upset Shelley.
Upset Tyler.
She's
a jellyfish
she's
look.
A little annoyed.
I don't
Henry.
like jellyfish.
A little annoyed. Wrightson Hulk versus Thing cover was great. That would have been. Are you talking about the graphic novel?
Oh,
We're going to assume he's talking about the graphic novel, the Hulk versus Thing graphic novel. There's also a great Hulk versus Man Thing cover. I think it's Hulk 197 that I have by Wrightson. That is terrific.
Cool.
Christina Lynn, look at she got 4 out of 8.
Who's
so
there?
She's 50%. That you failed, Christine. I'm sorry. I
Uh-oh.
don't mean to hurt your feelings, but
So sad.
Kevin, we're not going to put that one up, even though we're all laughing about it.
Yep.
Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much our content. Now it's up to you, Narwhal, to carry the show.
No worries.
So let me ask you a question
I have
or
my
two.
brown belt in comics. Thank you, my geekers.
Let me. You keep an eye on the chat, would you please, while I'm
I can't go shopping. Okay.
interviewing this young man.
Okay.
So, did you go to school for art or anything like that, or what's your connection to getting into comics? How did that whole process start for you?
Yeah, I did a comic senior year of high school. It was like my first comic I ever did. It was my senior project, and I kind of forgot about it for years, and I reread it last year or 2 years ago, and it was so bad. It's like the worst thing ever, and so embarrassing and like cringy even because it's like teenage fantasy kind of stuff mixed in there. But
we all did it.
But yeah, so I was doing that, and then I went to animation school for like 6 quarters at the Art Institute of Seattle. I ended up dropping out there because it was kind of too expensive, and it was all about computers. And at the time, I wasn't into computers. I kind of since got into like 3D animation. I like it now, but I really didn't like it then. Then I just went to Evergreen, and I did a sculpture major at Evergreen, like hippie school, where you just design your own curriculum and you just get a BA at the end of it all. And yeah, so I didn't get any jobs out of college. Then I was just like working at a hotel. The whole time I was drawing a lot. But even in my 20s, it was more about writing. I like wrote a bunch of movie scripts, and I read all the books about screenwriting. I was kind of trying to be like a filmmaker a little bit more than comic.
Sounds like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My daughter's actually majoring in animation.
I actually went to film school.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, a lot of those skills carry over, and like and comics is always there. Like you always like it, and you're always thinking in the back of your head, like I could just do that, then I wouldn't have to like daydream and always get shut down by Hollywood or whatever. Because you do, even in 10 years, you do have like sort of close calls here and there. Because I had one filmmaking buddy where the two of us would like team up, and so we did have some connections in Hollywood, and we had like some producers reading our scripts and stuff. But like, yeah, it never went anywhere. But my relationship with him was also very formative, though. He's a little bit older, and he worked at a video store and I did all this art for him kind of for free because this was after college. I moved to Austin, Texas, and I checked the Craigslist before I moved for art gigs, and he had posted like need some art gigs, concept art for a script, and I was like, sure. So I kind of just started like meeting with him and working with him, and I was working for free, but he was giving me free movie rentals, and so he gave me like 200 movies over the course of 2 years or something, of like a really cool, kind of like film education that way. Some like weird movies that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. One that stands out is he introduced me to Monty Hellman, who has 2 Westerns with Jack Nicholson, and one of them's called The Shooting, and one of them's called Ride the Whirlwind. And I think they're both free on YouTube because they're kind of like a little bit obscure. But The Shooting is an awesome movie, and that really inspired Foreign Agent, like kind of like years later or whatever.
Well, were you reading comics, or was it something you saw as an opportunity for storytelling later?
Yeah, I was reading comics, but I was never like a collector with the big long boxes. I like just kind of in high school, I started buying just like the old, like famous graphic novels. So like I read like Watchmen, Dark Knight. I read Mouse, and then I kept going. I got into finding out I liked like European style comics, and I got into some manga, and so I was just kind of reading that. And even up to this day, though, like I tweeted like last week, I'm like, what are some classics? Let me just see if I haven't read any. And people like start listing classics, and I'm like, I've only read like half of these. So I bought like 3 more last week. I bought one called Animal Man by Grant Morrison. Yeah, because a bunch of people named that one. So I started reading that last week.
That's pretty trippy.
That comic is awesome. Yeah, it's funny how like the really good comics, it doesn't feel like it aged. Like it's so entertaining. So easy to turn the pages or whatever. And I do feel like comics, they do like at their best, they are better than movies and books. But that's only been like a few that I feel that way about. But they're like,
So you weren't an American comics fan though, in the traditional sense of the word. You weren't out there reading superhero comics and stuff growing up or anything like that.
No, not really. I watched X-Men TV show when I was a kid. And that was like that era. Watched
Blue Samurai Zero says The Shooting or The Shoot Us. The Shoot Us was John Wayne. The Shooting was Jack Nicholson. I'm assuming it was a low budget 60s Western when he was probably very early in his career, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's really young in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you try, and I mean, were you always thinking I'm just going to self-publish, I'm going to do my own thing, or do you have an idea of maybe I'll get on at Vertigo at DC or something like that? Because obviously you're not a mainstream superhero artist writer. You have different sensibilities. So was that always your plan, was to just kind of, I'm just going to do this myself, I'm going to self-publish, or were you thinking maybe I can get on, like I said, with DC and Vertigo or one of these other smaller independent companies?
I was like trying to break into the comic industry, especially like maybe age 25 to 30. And like in hindsight, I can kind of see I maybe wasn't even good enough yet. Even now my style's different, so maybe I wouldn't have made it in. But now I can draw pretty I could draw anything. And back then I almost couldn't. I couldn't even draw like necessarily like early in my 20s. I couldn't draw like a pretty woman. Like I draw a woman, she doesn't look pretty. That's like a hard thing you got to learn how to draw at some point if you want to be a comic artist. Like I could draw muscly, strong men. And so I was like, note to self, I got to get good at drawing pretty women.
Yes.
And so, it was like kind of, like no luck really. I did a couple crowd funds. And it was kind of that timing though, where especially when I was like 30, where I was like, I've been trying to break in kind of a long time. And I started to get paranoid that they aren't hiring white dudes or whatever, which is like, and I did run up against some of that eventually too. Cause once I started doing Earthbound, I did get an editor contact me and he's like, Earthbound, just read Earthbound. Cause I put it up on Facebook. It was back in the day when I was on Facebook. He goes, just read Earthbound. It's fantastic. Would you ever consider publishing it in print? And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. Cause it'd been years of trying to break in. So I really couldn't believe it. But we exchanged and we're talking about it for 2 weeks straight of like how it worked. And then he ghosted me and he like quit talking to me. And I was like, what the hell? Or what is, but it was, he got hired at Boom Studios, I think, or it was one of those kind of,
Mhm.
not even Boom. It's one of the Portland ones though.
Ani.
Oni. He got hired at Oni, yeah. And they had released that same year this thing where they kind of said they say at Oni Press we support different points of view than what we've traditionally seen in the comic industry, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, they aren't hiring. If you're a white dude, they're not going to hire you. And I asked,
they're out of business now, so go figure.
Yeah.
Uh,
So so it was like when I was 30, I did get a job sort of in the comic industry, and because I was at the Tacoma Comic Con, met a journalist who liked my art, took my card. He got in touch 2 weeks later. He's like, I actually have a book deal, but we lost our artist, so we're going to lose the book deal unless we can get an artist. Can you draw and color 120 pages in a year? And I was like, yes, but I had never done that. And I was like, and
you
so
say yes and figure out how to do it later, right?
yeah, so they put me on that job, and that was my first comic I ever did. Trial by Fire. I learned a ton from doing that. It's called Machete Squad, and that one, if you look at it, it is like pretty rough. I'm like a little cringy if I look back at it. Even for me, my art's already kind of loose and rough, but it's a lot of the DNA's there of my style kind of developing from that book, and then that company, that book did get like published for reals. It's still out there, but that job ended, and I was like, what's next? And I'm like, I don't even know. And I pitched that company. They're called Dead Reckoning Publishing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I pitched them Foreign Agent, and I had a lot of Foreign Agent done at the time, like 60 pages. And they responded, and they're like, everyone here at the office thinks it's great and really cool, but we're going to pass on it. And I was kind of like, is this more of that, like that you guys are only hiring certain perspectives right now or whatever? And so that from that point, that was basically right when Comicsgate was happening. I was like, well, screw you guys. I'm going full on into Comicsgate. And they called me 2 weeks later, and they're like, and we understand you've been hanging around with some unsavory types. And I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. These people are nice, and you guys are stupid. And so I don't talk to them anymore. But that did work out in the end because, yeah, I own Foreign Agent now. If they would have said yes, I would have been still toiling as a pro, and it would be so different. But owning Foreign Agent is like so much more special or whatever. But
yeah, the crowdfunding has really been a savior, obviously, for a lot of us, and not only for those of us who've been booted out of the industry, but also, new up and comers, independent publishers that haven't worked for the big two. It's just such an incredible opportunity that wasn't there before,
yeah,
and allows you the opportunity to, I mean, you stand and fall on your own merits, but it gives you the opportunity to at least get your stuff out there and see if you can find an audience, which is, we used to think that just when the internet came about that, oh, this is going to change everything. But little did we know, because we were just thinking, now I don't have to go show my portfolio. I can just post stuff online and someone will find me and hire me, which is how a lot of people got hired in the past 20 years. But, I had no idea. I remember I was at the Seattle Emerald City Con when someone had told me about Kickstarter for the first time, and someone had started a comic strip, right? And was trying to get funding for it and ended up raising like $1 million. And I was like, what?
yeah,
And at that point I was, well entrenched at DC and things were going well. So I wasn't thinking, of doing anything independent at that time, but I was just blown away that how does someone doing a comic strip raise $1 million, but with the right promotion, the right exposure.
Yeah, and even like the right timing, because
timing's everything too. Yeah.
I tried to crowdfund in my 20s, and it was like they would raise $2,000 with me asking all my friends and family to back it. And even right before Comicsgate, I launched the Earthbound one, and it's the same thing. And then the Comicsgate happens, launch Earthbound again. Then it did like 8,000, 14,000. Mm-hmm. It kept going up, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" So that for me was definitely like a big life-changing thing. And now everyone, you're right, like everyone can kind of throw their hat in the ring like that, and it is kind of special. And one last thing I'll say about it too that's cool is I like what you guys have done from coming DC over here, a lot of people won't do that, or they can't do it because they are scared. They're scared of like even talking to a printer, ordering prints, shipping the books. They're scared of promoting on YouTube. But like all that stuff does take some like bravery to jump in, but it ends up being kind of fun and kind of fulfilling. And having your hand in every aspect of the process is, I think, like kind of more cool, basically. But yeah.
Well, it takes a certain kind of personality, right? And I think a lot of people, a lot of artists anyway, and maybe writers too, it's just, they just want to settle in, do the creative part of it and get paid, right? Whereas in order to do what we're doing, we got to be promotional, people. We've got to be artists, writers, publishers, editors, dealing with a printer, distribution, all these things. And I mean, I started off because I tried to break into comics way before I was ready to break into comics. And like at 18 and 19 years old. And of course I wasn't getting anywhere because I sucked, but I was calling up printers and everything, talking to printers, called up Diamond, talked to Diamond about how, distribution worked. And I mean, I was trying to do this kind of stuff when I was 18 or 19 years old, or at least figuring out how I could do it.
Yeah.
So now this, later in life, I'm totally prepared. It's not something that I've ever not wanted to do. It's just, you get, at least in my case, got settled in working on a regular schedule and certain expectations in professional comics community. And so then you kind of put your IPs in the closet for the time being and go, yeah. And then you're just going to get caught in this cycle of what's the next X-Men story? What's the next Spider-Man? What's the next Superman? Whatever, instead of thinking about publishing your own stuff, you're just like taking the next job and paying your bills.
Yeah. It's like, it's a little bit of a prison of success at that point. There are a lot of people.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because you don't want to break, you're too scared you're not doing great, right? It's like, I always say this about middle-class America is like the worst place you can be born, because you have just enough that you don't want to lose it, right? So you just kind of, status quo is very important. But if you're super rich, you got all the money in the world, you can do whatever you want. If you're super poor, you got nothing to lose, right? So you'll try anything and take risks. But if you're middle class and you grow up in that, sort of, we were lower middle class because we were pretty poor when I was younger. But when my mom started working, once we got into junior high and my dad was working 2 jobs, we actually had, sort of a lower middle income thing. But you just get a different mindset, right? And it's kind of like, this is pretty good right here, and I don't want to lose it, so I'm afraid to take this risk. And that's the way you are when you're in mainstream comics. You don't look at it and go, I'm not really making a ton of money. You're making enough to pay your bills, right? You're having a life, but you're not getting ahead. You're not owning anything. You're not thinking, oh my gosh, 25 years down the line, when I get aged out and no one wants to work with me anymore, where's my retirement? What am I going to do? Right? You don't think those things until, for a lot of people, it's too late. And so it's hard to get out of that cycle, even though it's successful, like you said, but it's not so successful, but it's just successful enough to kind of keep you there.
Yeah.
And until they boot you.
Yeah. And you're right. And like, poor people can imagine being rich. There's like a famous quote, but I forget who says it, but he's like, the difference between poor people in Europe and poor people in America. But he's like, the poor in America just consider themselves briefly inconvenienced ex-millionaires or something like
that. Sheldon Martin says, note to self, be super rich. That's the plan. See?
Yeah.
AV8R Surge says, hey, Aaron, what's up? Narwhal, hail chat, hail CG.
What's up?
Someone had a compliment for you here. I don't want it to go. Here we go. Chris says, Narwhal, I enjoyed your interactivity book.
Oh, thanks.
So how many projects do you see yourself doing a year? I
can kind of do 2, I hope, it's like 2 crowdfunds a year, and then maybe a Narzac on the side where he kind of handles that a little bit more than me. And that is now it's been almost like that, because when CG started, I had a backlog. I had Foreign Agent was half drawn. Earthbound was almost all drawn. So I had this head start, So I was able to kind of have that go through and have these multiple campaigns. Now, because those books have been like relatively successful, especially for me, then I've been working with other artists. So a lot of the money I make is going back into investing. So next year we'll kind of start like phase 2 Narwhal, where a lot of the books, I'm not the artist, like 2 or 3 of those are just, I'm the writer working with some artists. And then I still got some that I'm drawing. I got a couple collaborations, and it's like, I'm sure you know, but it's like building the train tracks while you're on the train. So you're always thinking ahead a little bit. And
exactly. Got to be flexible because you're not sure which way you're going to go. Sequential Treasure says, Aaron LaPresti, the old joke. How do you end up with $1 million making comics? Start out with $2 million. That's the truth right there. It is so true. D.W. Smith says, that's about where I am now, Aaron. Let's see here. He says, yeah, this is difficult, especially at my age. Just turned 63. I've been a portrait artist for 30 years and trying to break into comics. I need you younger folks to walk me through all of this. Well, actually, I am younger folk compared to you. And Narwhal's a baby compared to you. But so thank you for being in the chat so that there's someone actually older than me that I can take the heat off me a little bit. But, I didn't get started in comics till I was in my 30s. And that's because I got distracted and went a lot of different directions. And then as a result, I didn't draw much when I got into college until I got out of college. So it really sort of retarded my skills and I had to get caught back up, So here I am, a 28-year-old or 27-year-old drawing like an 18-year-old. And it's kind of like, I need to get caught up here. But I know Paul Ryan, who has passed away, but was a great artist for the Fantastic Four and other Marvel books. I don't think he broke into comics till he was like close to 40 because he was working in architecture and stuff and kind of transitioned over into that in the late 80s. And so he was actually fairly old when he started. So I don't think your age matters as much in this crowdfunded universe because it doesn't, no one's hiring you or not hiring you because you're old or young. They're looking at your product and they're going to say, okay, if I like that product, I'm going to back that product.
Yeah.
And so
whatever your life experiences will just almost add to your point of view that makes your work unique too.
Well, and there's some truth to that. When I was in film school, they used to say that, because we'd all be writing screenplays and stuff at, we were all anywhere from, 19 to the early 20s. And it's like, you couldn't really write. It was hard to write something important at that age because you didn't have enough life experience. And it was always saying, you got to be old enough to know enough to have something to write about. Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm always floored when I see that's why everybody was so disbelieving of when, Good Will Hunting by Matt Damon and his
that they had written it or whatever.
Yeah, they'd written that script because they were like 24 or 25, and you're like, really? I don't believe you guys wrote that. But if they didn't, everybody's keeping their mouth shut. So, but I mean, they could have. It's possible, but it's unlikely that you get that sort of insight from really young adults like that.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of that too. And it's with writing and art, it's kind of similar. Tell me if you relate to this, but especially in my 20s, as I was kind of like getting better. That's still kind of happening, but just a little bit less so, I guess now. But it would be like at any point, I'm like, oh yeah, baby, I'm ready. This is great. I'm ready for the big time. Here we go. And then you like turn it in or show it around or whatever. It kind of gets nowhere. 6 months later, you read it again and you're like, I wasn't ready. What was I thinking? But now I'm ready. Look at this new one. This is the best. This is so good. And that happened all through my 20s. It kept happening. I'm like,
yep.
What? Yeah. So it's funny. You have these blind spots kind of, I guess. And they're
you only know what you know, right? I mean, it's an obvious statement, but it's so true. And it's kind of like if you're going to write something and your experience tells you, hey, this is pretty good based on what you know. But then you learn more and you develop more, and then you go back and look at it and go, okay, this wasn't so good. And I mean, it's the same way with art, right? I look back on stuff I earlier did that I thought was pretty good that I would, be embarrassed to show anybody, at this point. And so it does happen. And it's nice though, when you get to a point it's nice when you get to a point where you've been doing it long enough that you look back at your old stuff, or some of your old stuff, not like the stuff I did when I started off, but stuff I did like 10 years ago, and you go, hey, this is pretty good. You know, so you get to a point where it's actually
that
working.
one drawing, it was from 2010 or something. I'm like, that drawing's amazing. So that's good.
Thank you. You finally get to a point where you're doing professional work, right? And then you hopefully continue to get better as you go, but at least you can look back at a certain point and say, okay, this is where I got to a level where I'm no longer embarrassed by my work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That is funny.
So Aldion says Aaron Lopresti is what, 41? Oh, what a kind
That's so
guy you are. That's
nice.
very, very nice of you. In fact, I'm going to where is
Give
it?
him a
There it is.
So sweet.
Oh, very nice. So so how many campaigns have you done now through crowdfunding?
Like 7, I think. And then books.
Wow, you're a seasoned professional.
Oh, he's sleepy.
Yeah. And I've been fulfilling. And it was, you learn things as you go. And the first one was like a year late, or not a year late, but it was 9 months late or something. And it was a year after the campaign that I fulfilled. And some people were mad about that, but we're all kind of figuring it out and learning and everything.
Right. Well, that's the thing. If I think you don't want to be that late, obviously, but things happen, and then if you deliver the book, then it gives you at least some ground to stand on when you launch the next one and say, okay, I'm going to be better. I promise this time. You did get the book, and so I think people are willing to trust you once they realize they're not getting screwed, even if they had to wait longer than what they thought they were going to.
Yeah, as long as you do fulfill, most people will be happy. I mean, a year is kind of that. Longer than that is almost too much, but a year seems like people are kind of okay. But that first time, it was actually the printer. I had everything done, and I learned that the hard way of like just even picking the right printer or whatever. I thought it was normal that he would only email me every 2 weeks or something, and so the whole process took forever.
Is he coming for me? Yeah. The dog attacks. It's like a full moon.
So I saw a comment. No, he's not a cat. He's a miniature schnauzer named Husker.
Yeah, for those of you that he's the one that's barking all the time in the background.
Yeah, he's a barker. He's very smart, other than the barking.
Hyper Potato says, I've lost count of cannonballs and slaps. I think I've only ever received one ovation. Well, you say the right things and you'll get an ovation.
Yeah, you got to earn them.
That's right. You get rewarded around here. You get your just desserts around here.
We get lots of desserts.
You get what you earn. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's take a look at these campaigns again real quick.
And please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other stuff that everybody says.
That's true. I mean, let's do this real quick because it's just a click away, Shelley, really. If I can find it.
It's down there. It's right here. It's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Help, I'm being repressed.
No, that's
okay. Not it.
Here we go. There you
go.
There it is. Remember to like and subscribe because we all need your support. And the great thing about these YouTube channels, unlike crowdfunding, doesn't cost anything to hit that button.
Right.
So like and subscribe helps us grow the channel. Do you have your own YouTube channel, Narwhal? I assume you do. Narwhal, do you have your own YouTube channel?
I do. Yeah, I'm up to I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if my internet might have hiccuped or something. Yeah, I do. I'm at 1.7K subs, and I do promo streams once a week. I got some coming up this week, and then some animation stuff, some writing stuff. So check it out.
Well, I don't have a link for that in here, but I would assume you go to Narwhal on YouTube and you'll find it, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's just Narwhal Books on YouTube.
Narwhal Books, there you go.
Cool.
So check out his channel as well. And let's check out his campaign.
Let's do this.
And see what we got here.
Husker's very
as I push my 6 buttons to make it happen. There we go. Narwhal Shorts Compendium. We went over this earlier. It's full of some really cool looking short stories. And not the least of which is a bunch of monkeys at typewriters, which I'm kind of anxious to read. And so you've got this short story compendium, but you can also get your Nosferatu book as an add-on or as part of the Narwhal Shorts. Where is it? Down. The
there.
complete or the Narwhal Completionist. 7 books for $135. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So we have these 3 3 perks with add-ons attached to them. This is just a collection of short stories, some really cool stuff. So you guys want to check that out. The link to this is in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and refresh it and see if we got any action whilst we were talking. No, but they were listening to us. Now they're going to run over there.
Yeah, it's the subliminals. We're building it. They're going to back.
That's right.
Yeah.
They'll go back. And let's see.
About this one.
Let's take a quick look at mine and see if even on my own show, if anybody went over there and backed.
They were listening.
Do I feel good about myself or not? Let's see. Hey, I do feel good about myself.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much.
Yay, Daddy has self-esteem.
Are you in? I didn't even look. Are you in demand yet, or are you still live?
I'm still live for six days. So
you
I
got
think it might be
6 more
Sunday or
days.
something. But I am going to extend it like you too. So I don't know if
You're not supposed to say that till the last minute.
But,
Normally,
you
you're
know,
supposed to
everybody
Oh yeah.
leave them in suspense, man.
No big secret.
So you got 6 days. You're probably going to extend, and I've extended already for an extra 2 weeks because we want to push this up to 120 so we can get that Esther Queen of Hearts playing
you
card.
need to go in and update the newest unlocked.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do, don't I? It happened so fast.
I know.
I couldn't keep up.
I know.
So anyway, the links to both of these campaigns are in the description of this video, and I would encourage everybody to take a moment out of your busy day and check it out and see if it's something there that you might be interested in backing. And there's a lot of other great campaigns on Indiegogo right now that are too numerous to mention, but they're all over there. So go through comics and you'll see a ton of CG books that by some really, really good creators and some really good,
really good
content over
stuff
there.
out right now.
And of course, Aldion is telling us we also need Wraith of God to outperform Irene. We do have to, you know.
It's so funny.
I'm still bitter because Irene, I think,
Don't be
controversially
Oh,
took the title of from Fragtober last October
Wow.
from me in the sketch off. There was a little bit of controversy involved, but she has the belt. So what can I
What
say?
can you say?
But I can't have her beat me and have her campaign beat me too. That'd be just like too Joe
Yeah.
Biden-y.
How close are you? Your 2 campaigns.
4,000
Okay.
bucks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know,
you'll
you've got in demand is a slow roller. That's where I think I'm gonna catch her. That's what,
Yeah.
I'm playing the long game, Norwell. I'm playing the long game.
Yeah, it is tortoise and hare, like you were saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And she eats a lot of those pineapple cakes underneath the trees,
Mhm.
relaxing while I'm working hard, passing her on the road. That's what's going to happen. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh,
Daniel also
Daniel.
says she beat you like a rented mule, Aaron. You know, it's probably more like
Bonk.
like this, don't you think? And this, and a little bit of this.
it's
There you go,
trifecta.
Daniel. That'll put you to sleep.
It's a trifecta.
Okay. Until your squeals are cuter than Reenie's, you don't stand a
Oh.
chance. I know.
I should probably work on something.
I know. I got to get Shelly more, you know.
Yeah.
Well, she does shots. I mean, you
Yeah,
do
I'm so
shots.
edgy.
Out of our laser etched glasses that are available on our campaign.
Just on the campaign.
How was that for
Yep.
a little little advertisement in there?
Yep.
Narwhal, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm glad you're able to make it. We got to talk a little bit
Yeah.
about your career and where you're at right now. We got to take a look at your campaign. You know, be safe. You're in the Great Northwest. I know it's a dangerous place to live. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for having me. And if you guys want to come on my channel sometime, that'd be awesome too. We can promote.
Well,
the
yeah,
channel.
love to.
Cool.
Love to.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you can
Come here, baby. Come
ask
here,
me
baby.
about my old age and what I've done for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Full of content. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this edition of Aaron Live
Aaron
with Shelley
Live.
Showtime. Our guest today has been Narwhal. And what is today Sunday? It is.
Today's Sunday.
So enjoy what you've got left of your weekend. I would ask everybody to check out Monday Comicsgate Kings on EVS's channel, The Professionals Tuesday night, along with the Players Club,
Yes.
which I'm on after The Professionals. So it's a full night for Tuesdays. And I'll be doing live draw streams throughout the week
Uh-oh.
as we get more and closer to the end of the Wraith of
More
God
popular.
campaign. So keep your eyes open for those. thank you for joining us, because we couldn't have a show if you guys didn't show up to support us.
So,
and again,
thanks.
like and subscribe on your way out the door. We appreciate it very much. And we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.